All right, guys, let's start that over. All right, guys, let's welcome Brent Mills of Greyhaven to the Talk to Me podcast. Brent, how are we doing today?
Doing fantastic.
Nice, nice. Keep It Quiet out October 10th, Solid State Records, man. And I right off the top, I've been listening to the album, got it about a week ago. Does not disappoint at all. Like you like every moment where like Greyhaven's about to change, and where you think you're going to get a slow part, you get a heavy part. Like it's if you're a Greyhaven fan, you're going to love this record. How about that?
Thank you so much for that, man. Yeah, I appreciate that.
So just diving into it, man. When you first hit play, it's almost like a R&B record or something. They're like, all right, sounds
Yeah.
great in this. You're great in the car. You're kind of singing all nice and nice and sexy for the ladies and stuff. And then obviously the song explodes at some point. But just talk about kind of the direction of this record.
Yeah. So we had a bunch of different songs written. Like when we had done the EP last year,
Mhm.
the idea was to do a whole full length. Um, but we had just signed to Solid State and we had done a lot of touring. Um, and we wanted to get some music out there, get that announcement out there, try to just get that ball rolling because we had already been talking to them for a few months and stuff at
Yeah.
that point. So we went and just did the EP, but the writing for the record kind of started around there. And I think, we handpicked what kind of felt good for the EP, and we had all this extra stuff that a lot of it ended up on the record. But we were really trying to just push the boundary of our sound. We always do that. Like every record, we try to write like what's the heaviest thing, what's the fastest thing, what's like a weird thing, what's the softest thing. We feel like we have a whole net of sound that we try to lean into and expand every record. But this one, um, I want to say we had written like 16 songs aside from the EP to kind of play around with, and yeah, I mean, when we got up to the studio, it kind of made sense, like which ones to keep. But that first track, yeah, there were a couple different songs when we were writing that we were going through my laptop and kind of going through some ideas that I had just like
Mhm.
recorded at my house, like just on my own, like random things. I never really thought they would get used for
Right.
this, but that first track, I played it, and everybody was like, "We should do something with this. Like, we should do that." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah." I wanted to write a Radiohead song at my house once, and I was just
Right.
sitting there,
Nice.
like, literally trying to rip it off as as best I could, just for fun, just kind of enjoyed it. But everybody kind of latched onto it, and then when we brought it to Will, his initial reaction, we weren't sure how he was going to feel about that song, but his initial reaction was like, "Love it, first track." And we were like,
Yep.
"What?" He was like, "Yeah, it should start the record because if it doesn't, it's going to be an interlude track. People are going to skip it." He's like, "But if we can make it first and then have it go somewhere
Mhm.
to set the tone of the record, it's going to be an awesome way to intro the album." So we love that idea, and then tacked on that heavy part at the end. That was an in studio kind of like idea, and it leads you right into the second song perfectly. So it was just really cool experimenting a bit on this one. Like we always try to, but this one just felt like a lot more like, what can we do that we haven't done before? There's like samples and stuff throughout the record. There's like uh, weird noises, stuff kind of happening. There's that acoustic track. Like we really
Yep.
just tried to really broaden it as best we could.
Yeah, and the one thing listening to it with the catalog kind of coming before this record,
Mhm.
it doesn't nothing sounds out of place. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like Greyhaven. It's not like you just guys all of a sudden turned into like a heavy Justin Timberlake or something like that. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like it just truly sounds like a Greyhaven record. And if you're kind of along for the journey, like I think this is the next step.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we're not afraid to, like I said, go into any territory, and I think we like set ourselves up that way from the very first record. We kind of have inklings of that all the way from the very beginning. So it's like it's fitting for us to try out different things. But yeah, I would agree. Like listening to it now, I'm like, I'm so proud of this record because it really does feel like everything that we want to do. And like it feels like the record landed exactly where we wanted it to be, but without compromising anything. Like when we initially signed to Solid State, actually, that was one of the things he even told us, like, because we had done Bright and Beautiful, and COVID, a lot of those records kind of go under the radar or whatever, and so
Right.
we were kind of not sure, like, did we not do something with that? You know, like it was there's something that was missing on that or whatever. And he said, please don't lose what this band is. Like
Nice.
COVID, the way the record was kind of handled, all those kinds of things is like that's a little out of your control. He's like, but the music is awesome. So please don't try to change that moving forward. And so we were like, oh, cool. So we just had the license to feel, more confident and like, all right, well, let's keep getting weird. But I also really like big choruses. So like feel like we've gotten a little better at writing those too. So it's like it just has both, it's catchy, it's hooky, but it's like really weird and heavy all the same.
Yeah, I think, and obviously leading off the single, the first single being "Burn a Miracle,"
Yeah.
kind of shows that with the chorus of the track is probably one of the more accessible things you guys have ever written, but it's
Oh,
also
absolutely.
everything around it is obviously a Greyhaven song, so it kind of, I think it can broaden the audience, bring more people in to
Yeah.
understand what this band is, and he, I guess just kind of talk about recording again with Will Putney, and if people want to go back and check it out, obviously you and I sat down and we did a full on Empty Blacks track by track. So I kind of got a little bit
Yeah.
of the writing process and how you guys work. But I mean, did Will come to you guys and say like this song needs to be reworked? This song, try it again. Was it kind of the same as that format with Empty Black?
Definitely a little bit, but I feel like because we've worked with him so much and have just gotten better at crafting songs in general, um, there was less like moving stuff around and more so just kind of like fine tuning things. There weren't really a lot of big changes musically, but there were definitely a few moments where we were like, this could be moved, or we don't need this riff, or like something cooler could happen here. Like that definitely happens. But um, yeah, it was funny, really. When we were trying to do the initial full length before the EP, around that time, it was kind of funny. We were actually shopping for different producers at the time. We were kind of looking to see like, well, where could we take this? Like, what would be cool, And because we already gotten news that Will was like booked, like so busy, so it was like off the table at the time. So we chopped around a little bit, and nothing really felt right. It just there were some cool conversations and some cool ideas, but it was just like not really fitting. Um, checking all the boxes for us or whatever. And then
Right.
we actually heard a conversation from our manager, Tom from Stray, uh, was talking to Will, and Will said, like, why am I not doing the record? And he was like, you're busy, like you're booked. And he literally was like, I'll figure it out. So like he got us those 10 days in December to do the EP. And then when it came around to do the record, it was the same thing. He was like, I will make sure we can do this if we want to do this. Um, and so we did. January was kind of the time we could do it. So we went up there, had a whole month to do the record. And in the middle of that, we went to the UK with them with Better Lovers. So it was our first time doing that, but also it's kind of just this crazy thing of like first weekend of January, getting up to the studio. We're there for like a week and a half. Then we go to the UK and then we come back and have to finish the record. And it's like, there's a lot of moving parts. And then um, actually, when we came back, I'd gotten sick. So like trying to get up to vocal week, I was like, dude, this isn't
Right.
gonna happen. And it was a bummer because I felt like I had a lot of momentum leading into the tour. And then like when I got home, like well, back to the studio and got sick, it just like died. So I just like I couldn't get the ideas like where I wanted them to be. So I ended up coming back home. Like instrumentals were done, but I was home all of February with the instrumentals, like just writing at my house. And then I went back up in March to finish it. But I really think that extra time was so crucial. Like all the best stuff definitely happened having more time to sit with it and fine tune stuff. And like definitely that acoustic track Technicolor would have, if I would have recorded where it was in January versus where it landed in March, it was a totally different song, and it's definitely for the best. But yeah, he's just awesome, man. Like he just gets our sound so well. He understands how our personalities all work, and he knows how to get the best out of all of us. And like I just think he truly understands the music, and he's down with all the weird stuff like the prelude and the acoustic stuff and the weirder kind of things that we were doing. He's just on board constantly, and I love it. I love working with him.
You guys recently did a video shoot here in Louisville and at Magbar.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about that. It's funny as I got off work and I'm like, dude, I want to go down. Like I wanted to come down for it so bad, but I'm also 46 years old, so I'm just like, do I really want to? Do I really want to come down? But
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I was so on the fence, but I really wish I would have come down. But talk a little bit about the video shoot, man.
Yeah. So basically for the whole rollout of the record, like you're getting your budgets and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
what they're willing to do for this and that. And like we had pretty much greenlit 2 videos, like Burn a Miracle, and then we're gonna do another like full on music video thing. We're trying to figure all that out right now. But for the last song on the record, we just knew it needed a video. Like it's like one of our favorite songs we've ever written, and it just like it's gonna be a single, but we really, really wanted a video for it. And they told us that we could do it, but it's going to eat into the marketing. And like, we really want to market the hell out of the record. So like, it's kind of up to you. But it'd be probably nicer to save that. And so we were kind of shopping some ideas around, and our buddy Nolan, who used to play in Vatican, he's in that band Agonize now, but he has done a bunch of that like VHS, like camcorder DIY style, like videos for his bands and stuff. And we pretty much pitched like, well, what if we did it? Like, what if we just spent a little bit of money ourselves and just like we did it cheap, had it home, DIY kind of skate
Right.
punk style kind of thing. And they were like, yeah, we love it. Do it. That sounds great. So, the video is really interesting. Like we've done these shoots where it's like this big budget thing, and like we're playing somewhere and there's like a little team, and it's cost a bunch of money and we do it in a day or whatever. This, we did it DIY, and it took us 3 days of like going around the city, and just like Johnny and Nolan had went out and did a bunch of B-roll stuff one day. The second day there was this like idea we had that was kind of lofty for the chorus, where I'm like riding on this like dolly thing so that the ground underneath me is like, kind of seems like I'm floating down the
Mhm.
street. And that took some work to figure out how to get that done. And then we did the live shot thing that was going to be the end of the video. I mean, that day, we wanted it to be, everybody to be there at 6. That's when we were going to do the thing. And then that day, I remember we were kind of like 6 o'clock, and not a lot of people here right now. Like, is this gonna be ridiculous? Is this not gonna look cool? And then a bunch of my friends were like, everybody thinks it's a show, so they think it's doors at 6. You guys are gonna play at
Right.
7. So just give it some time. And then yeah, but by 7 o'clock, we had a full room, and it was just like a bunch of friends and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. It was really, really cool. We ended up playing a couple songs that people knew, and then debuted the new song live, like full on, and then played it over the PA for like 2 or 3 more takes just to get the continuity kind of stuff down. But like, and then the next day I went out and was with Nolan all day, and we did a bunch of different random stuff around the city. So it was a lot of fun to get to do. And it was definitely a labor of love. And like, I'm super excited about how it turned out. Like, comes out tomorrow, I think. And I'm like, I can't wait for people to see it. Cause like,
That's a quick
it's cool.
turnaround too, because I mean,
Yeah, we needed to
that
do
was
it
literally
quick.
like a week or 2 ago, right?
Yeah, yeah. Everything with this has kind of been kind of fast because, like, I mean, historically, we've put out a record and it's been like years before another one happens, and then like,
Mhm.
and luckily we're like kind of got this momentum going now. But with this one, they're like, let's get it out because me having to go back to record in March kind of pushed our timeline a little bit. So we were trying to still stay on the ball um, to get it out this year uh, with having that kind of getting in the way of it a little bit. But it's working out. Like they're definitely making a lot of things happen really quick. But it's been sweet. It's a lot of fun. I like being busy. I like
Well,
being
yeah,
busy.
I mean,
So,
obviously, it's being busy is being, better than not being busy, I guess, at
yeah,
this point. Um, you guys played Louisville last year, or was it earlier this year, last year? I don't know when that was.
yeah. Last
This year
year,
was it
October.
last year?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was awesome to see. But I mean, you guys, even on the interview we did, and you've kind of put it out there here and there. But I mean, it's just like playing Louisville is a very hard thing for you guys to do. Does it have to do with like actual touring that you're doing, or does it have to do with Louder Than Life? And like, are there issues there? Like, what's kind of the impetus behind you
Uh,
guys not playing local shows,
yeah,
hometown shows?
no. If it was up to me, we'd be doing it a lot more often. But it's just more so what had happened the year before was that whole year that we didn't play. We would book a show, have a date, start getting things ready for it, and then a tour would come up and wipe that date out. And then we come home from tour, try to do it again, and then like dates we wanted weren't available or whatever, and then we would get one or get in the talks of one and get things going, and then another tour would come around and it would wipe that date out, and then before we know it, it's the end of the year, and it's like, oh, okay. And then so that was starting to happen last year, but pretty much like towards the end of the summer, uh, me and Ethan were pretty adamant about like we have to play in Louisville. It's been like almost 2 years. Like we just really need to make this happen, and we did, and it was incredible. It was like
Oh, it was a
one of
great
my
show.
favorite shows. Yeah, it's one of my
Yeah,
favorite shows we've ever gotten to play. It was really cool, and I never played the Whirling Tiger before either, so it was like
yeah, it was a cool
a lot of
venue. I
fun.
liked it.
Yeah, it was really, really sweet. That was actually my first time even being in there at all. So I
Me
just
too.
walked in and was like, "This place rules. This is really cool."
Yeah.
And we had done like a beer collab with Atrium too for that show, and that was a lot of fun. That's kind of opened the door to doing another thing with them. Um, but yeah, it's not like a intentional thing. It's just like we're touring and trying to get these and this together. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like it 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 doesn't happen, and then a year gets away from you pretty quick. But
Right.
uh, luckily, we're doing it this year. We are playing at the end of this, like our headliner tour at the end of the year, and we got to do that little music video show, which was cool. So it's a
Right.
nice little treat for anybody that was there because it was like it was just fun. It was like taking requests and shit. Like we don't ever do that kind of thing. It's very easy
Nice.
going.
And actually, now that if I would have known you guys would have actually played a couple of songs, I probably would have came down because I assumed it was just going to be playback with with
Yeah,
the crowds and things like that. But yeah, and the one thing about the Whirling Tiger, and I might throw some footage into the interview here, but from the phone that I took. But it was nice because it was just like a red light, and you guys with some amps. It wasn't
yeah.
a bunch of tracks. It wasn't a bunch of like just crazy lights going on. I mean, it was just a full on, just almost like a punk rock type show. You guys just got up there and played, and it
Yeah,
was nice. It was refreshing.
that's what we like. We have gotten really lucky to be on some pretty big tours this last year and opening up for some bigger bands and seeing kind of how they do things. And it's like it sounds great and it's
Mhm.
awesome and it's like a full production, but we get up there and plug some amps in and just go. And
Right.
I think that dichotomy is kind of cool, and it's like the records obviously have some production element to it, and there's like more going on and harmonies and stuff, and do kind of lose that live because we're, you know, nobody else wants to do any of the singing parts or whatever. But like, I like it. I think it's really cool to get the same, as much of the same energy that we pull off on record live with just us four dudes up there, just plugging in and going for it. We don't play to a click. We just like everything about it is very raw and real. And just, sometimes we fuck up, sometimes we don't. But I just feel like
Mhm.
it's just part of it. And it makes whenever we really hit or we're really in the pocket, like we have a really good night, it's like it's extra gratifying because it's like we did that. We just did it.
Yeah. And it's funny just because you're so accustomed now to go to a show and everything's so perfect. Everything's
Hmm.
so in the you've got tracks going on, and there's vocal lines that are coming from somewhere, but you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
see it and stuff like that. But you with the Whirling Tiger show, like there might have been some backup vocals that the crowd was doing. The crowd was
yeah,
filling up that the just that part of the song that you might need or whatnot. And I mean, you guys did White Lighters, and it's just like it hits you like right in the feels again. And that's a tough song, I'm assuming, for you guys to ever play on a tour where you're an opening band, because people may or may
yeah,
not be familiar with the band, but everybody that was there knew the song. And so it's just like, everybody was just like, holy fuck, man. Like that
yeah,
hit you right there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's a weird one because like it's taken us a long time to get that song to come across,
Yeah.
like for us sonically. Like we've tried it a bunch of different times at practice over the years, and we've got it down now. But like it's taken us a while to. Not only is it like a lesser known song, if you're not familiar, we have 25 minutes to play, so it's like we're probably not
Right.
gonna play the the sad song. But, also just we weren't happy with it for a while, like, how it was coming across live, but now that it is, it's like, when we do get to do special shows like that, like a home show or a longer set
Mhm.
or something like that, it is cool to bring out because like, when people do know it and they're singing along, like, that moment is just it's so cool, you know?
What's it gonna take? And I think I even asked you this last time we interviewed, but like what I still need to see Greyhaven higher up on the bills, things like that, like and breaking through, man, because I think Greyhaven's one of those bands that it's like if you know, you know. And I'll even give you a story. I think I might have texted this to you, but like, Goose and I were at Louder Than Life.
Mhm.
We're like talking to Jose Mangan, and like you guys come up, and we are just both of us were just gushing onto Jose. Like, you need to hear this band. Like, he was freaking out, I'm freaking out. Like, and and whenever I get asked, like I'll do a podcast interview here and there, I'm like, what bands are you listening to? I always bring you guys up
I
because I'm just
appreciate
like,
having
I'm
me.
like, I'm like, you need to like like people need to know, you know what I'm saying? Like get into this band and kind of break through. And I guess with the new record coming out and them really wanting to push it, and it does seem like that the label, from what you're saying, feels that way too. You're not just a tax write-off band, like
Yeah.
they're passionate and behind you guys too.
Yeah, they've been literally from the very first, meeting we had with Adam have just been awesome, like, just
Yeah.
totally, totally awesome, and, I mean, it's cool because like, Tom and Adam had a conversation, and he asked him kinda like what Adam had asked Tom, like, what he had going on or whatever, and he was like, "Well, Greyhaven's contract is up, so, like, we're trying to figure that out," and Adam immediately was like, "I want that band." Like,
Right.
I wanna work with them, and
Mhm.
so, I think just having someone that wants to do it and is, like,
Yeah.
excited about it and isn't, like, and they're familiar with it, like, it's so much better because it just feels like, we're in good hands, and it's felt like that from the beginning, and it's continuing to feel like that with this record, like, they've been nothing but the best. And it's cool, I'm not getting graphics with the name spelled wrong and stuff like that, like,
Right.
I'm actually, like, they really they're on it, and it's
Mhm.
great. I'm excited for the record to actually drop and for, the tours to start and just see where it goes, because like, they are trying to push it, and I'm happy about it.
Have you guys played Louder Than Life or any of the Wimmer festivals yet?
Mm-mm. No, we haven't. I don't really
Why?
know like what the specifics are. I mean, my family literally every year is like, "Why are you on Louder Than Life? You're local." I'm
Right.
like, "Dude, I don't know. We've been in talks with people before, and then like things have just fallen off, and then like I see sometimes like you know Foxbat, and then we'll play it, and I'm just like,
Right.
"Well, why haven't we played it?" Like, so I'm not really sure what's up with that, but I hope that changes maybe next year because like that would be a bucket list thing to get to do for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be a because my actually that was a question my wife had earlier. She was like, Have they played Louder Than Life?" And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it doesn't feel like I was like, I don't
Mhm.
think they have, but I didn't know if you
Well,
guys played years ago or something like that.
I've been once, but
Right. Yeah, there you
but
go.
we haven't played it.
Nice. As we're gonna wrap up, what has been announced touring wise? You guys have some good stuff, in the works. Obviously going out with other people.
Yeah, we're doing a whole like month over in Europe with Better Lovers and 68, and like I'm just floored about that. It'll be our second time overseas, but when we did the thing in January, it was just a week in the UK. So like this being a whole month and we're hitting
Yeah.
like everywhere over there, I just like couldn't be more excited. Like my backstory, my family's like on my dad's side's like from Germany. Like my grandpa came here when he was like 11 or
Oh,
something
nice.
like that. So like I can't wait to get over there. It's just
Right.
one of those things I never thought I'd get to see. So like that's exciting. But then we're home for like I don't know, like 2, 3 weeks, and then we
Mhm.
immediately jump back out, on the headliner with Fox Lake and, Commoner, and that's gonna be exciting. I know we got a bunch of cool bands throughout that tour that are gonna be opening for that package, and that's gonna be really cool because the record will be out by then. It'll be out for a few weeks by then, so I'm excited to see how people react to it, like, when we're playing it live, and again, like, we're not opening, thank God, so, like,
Right.
we're gonna play a longer set. We actually got a really cool set kind of brewing. I've been I have the tentative songs on a playlist right now, so I'm trying to, like, prep and get ready for it and stuff, and so I gotta sit on my Nordic track bike for an hour singing singing our
Right.
songs. It's a lot of work, but I'm really excited for it. It feels like getting to that next level is it's like what you need to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be right there for you, man.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and just good luck with everything. And like I said, the new album, Keep It Quiet. It's funny the album Keep It Quiet because when I got sent the link for it or whatever, it was like keep it quiet and also keep it quiet because don't tell anybody
Yeah.
that you have the link kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like so I was like, is Keep It Quiet the name of the album, or was that like a direction not to let anyone else listen to it? But
Yeah.
yeah. So new album, Keep It Quiet out October 10th, Solid State Records. And Brent, man, once again, just thanks for taking some time.
Yeah, anytime. I love doing it.